Hi, welcome to another episode of Game Creation. So today we are going to extend the snake and actually let the snake grow. Otherwise we haven't really got much of a game. And I've got a fair idea how we're going to do it. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got the project open, and I'm going to change a few things in today's video because I've kind of known that we are just kind of using some of these commands here just to show on screen what we've done. I don't actually need this, and the way of just getting rid of it temporarily is just to comment it out, which we've talked about before. Just removes it from code, and I don't actually need this yet. Alright, so I'm going to create a score element or a score variable, and we can do that straight away. So score, and the player's going to start with a score of 1, and I should put a var before that, so it's a variable. So your score's going to be 1 because you are 1 long. That makes sense. So you've got a score of 1. And every time you eat food, your score increases by 1. So let's copy that and go to the part where food is eaten, which I don't think we've got. Yeah, we haven't got it at the moment. So we need to add 1 to the score when we create that function. Oh, lots to do. Right. Now, what I'm going to have, if I go to the screen, I'm going to have the snake, that the head of the snake, the bit you control, is 1, and then the next bit along, kind of your tail, is 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to have a function which goes through the entire array and subtracts 1 from each, for each time you kind of move. So as you move around, it just subtracts 1 from each. And then when it gets to 0, it just will be invisible. It kind of makes sense. And this is kind of one of those things that's easier said. So I'm going to copy the double loop we've got there, because I want that to loop, and then I want this to happen. And we're going to move tail, or move snake, kind of. Move graphical snake, maybe. I don't know. My comments are pretty useless. But what can you do? I could go close those loops. Right. So I'm going to have a similar setup to before. And you copy code all the time when you do this. And we're going to say if it's greater than 0. So if it's the player controlled. Remember the blank tiles are 0 and the food is negative, and that's kind of the reason I made the food negative, because I knew I was going to be doing this. And all we're going to do is just grab the tile and we're going to make it equal to the current value, take away 1. And there is a quicker way of doing that, which is just with minus minus like that. I kind of like it like this. I've got a bit more control over it like this, although, yeah, I don't think it matters. Okay, now this new X and new Y has remembered where our new head is, and that's going to be important because that is currently 0 and we're setting it to 1, so this isn't going to sort that out. So we've got to actually create head of snake, and that's going to be quite an important part. So let's save that. And hopefully it will run just as it did before. Here we are. Absolutely no different. Okay. Which we were expecting. We were hoping that there wouldn't be any difference. Right. Next with this, we want a second if statement. And no, do we need a second if statement? I don't think we do. I think we're fine. Right, now we need to deal with if the player has eaten some food. So we've already got the position that the player's moving to, and so all we need to do is check that to see if it's negative, and therefore it is food. Orders everything, so what I'm going to do is probably put this below here, because when we move snake we'll have to figure something out. Okay, so let's say if the just going to close the if statement. So if that is less than 0, so if the new tile is less than 0, it means it's food. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be eating the food. So what we're going to have is our score increased by 1. And this I don't mind putting a plus because it's just always going to go up by 1. And then we need to do the create food function to create a new piece of food. Now we might cause problems here. What I might do, I'm just thinking if we do create food, then it might set it down on the same. Let's just have a look. Okay, no, it won't, because it's currently negative, that's fine. I was hoping it wouldn't put the food down in the same place, which it won't. Excellent, let's save that, Control S. Let's see if this works. Probably should put the speed a bit quicker, but then again, if you remember from the Tetris videos, I've got a lot of problems with that. Okay. That's looking good. Okay, so we actually collect the food and our score has gone up, which is really good, and we could console log it, but I'm pretty sure our score has gone up. But we haven't got the tail, so let's figure out how to do the tail. And I'm just looking at this, I wasn't very happy with this before. I should be adding 1 to it. So we add 1 to it, okay, but if that now is greater than score, I'm not 100% sure about this, but sometimes I write code, test it, and then figure out what's wrong. Then we want to change it to 0. Now I think, so if it's currently 1, it will then go to 2. If 2 is greater than score, it goes to 0. Logically speaking, that should work. Yeah, let's see if it actually does. Right, so hopefully this will work. There you go. We've got a snake. How cool is that? How simple as well. And we could have the food different colours. Oh. And it's that simple, so these are just adding 1 each time, and as soon as they get to our score, they disappear and they turn to 0. Well, there we go. And it's so few lines of code, isn't it? And you can create an interesting game like this. Right, rather than watching me do that all day, fun how that is, I'm going to stop the video there. Please keep the comments coming, and if you've got any other ideas, I've already got kind of a backlog of list of things that you've asked me to do. Please keep them coming. I am listening, and I do this, as you know, as a hobby. This is a bit of fun, and actually I find it much more interesting when I'm doing something that I wouldn't have thought of, and that's something that you've asked me to do, which is actually really much better than coming up with something I've done before or whatever. Tomorrow's video is going to be our final video, and as you can see here, all these errors and stuff, we're just going to make this so that we could pass it on to someone to have fun and play. And I might change the colour of the food, maybe we do a random colour, if I remember. But yeah, please keep the comments coming in. I'm not going to record tomorrow's video until tomorrow, so you might have an influence over what that video becomes. So I'll see you then. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more from us, please click subscribe. We release videos every single weekday at 7 PM UK time. Thank you.